when the boat comes in.
Speaking about episode 4 of series 2 of When the Boat Comes In, Roubles for the Promised Land. This is an interesting episode because you have a Russian guy by the name of, is it Yakanovich or Yakonovich, as Tom Seaton says, who's looking for Jack Ford for what he got up to in Russia, in Murmansk. And it's interesting because you actually feel a bit of sympathy for the Russian that's after Jack. And to begin with, of course, he's looking for him, and he gets in the Jewish community, doesn't he, in Galashield, and he tries to find him that way. He does eventually track him down, but Tom bumps into him, and he kind of likes him, doesn't he?
There's a fella looking for you. Foreign fella. Name's Kaganovich.
His name's what?
Why, it's Kaganovich, someone like that. Jewish fella from Russia. Says he knows you.
5 years since I was in Russia, Tom. I met a lot of people. Didn't keep an address book either.
Says you can help him.
Aye, half the town thinks that. His hand's never out of his pocket.
Tom has moved out of the Seaton's house to prove that he can do it by himself, but he's gone to probably one of the worst places that you could go, like a hostel kind of place, but rougher than that it looks like, doesn't it? I mean, there's thieves there, and of course this Yakanovich, Yokonovich, however you pronounce it, he gets set upon by these 3 thieves, and he's very clever what he does. He says that he has a knife, and he says that he can't take them all on, but he'll take one of them with him. He used his brain a lot, didn't he, that guy? And Tom sticks up for him. Of course, he doesn't fully understand how Jack, how he's involved with Jack from Murmansk, but that comes out later.
In Russia, you can learn everything there is to know about death.
You're saying you can take the 3 of us?
I'm not so foolish. You'll defeat me, of course. But one of you will die. Maybe even 2.
They'd hang you for that.
But you would still be dead. Put my book back in the case, please.
Another interesting part of this episode is Billy trying to become a doctor, and of course things were very different back then. Back then it was very unusual to get care for free. You had to pay back then, and he sees a doctor who's getting paid for it. And what I mean is, there was no NHS back then, was there? Doctors were private. If you didn't have money, you wouldn't get care, basically. And he sees this guy, and he says, this doctor, and he says that he enjoys his luxuries, which is fair enough. He does, doesn't he? He likes having a parlour maid at the time. He likes having what was it? I'm trying to remember now. He likes going away to the south of France and all this, and I hope you enjoy the plum cake, and yeah. But it's because of Billy's politics, because he's a socialist back then, he couldn't get the job. And it's very interesting, like, how it develops later, because obviously he owes his family, the Seatons, a lot of money. As Bill later says, he goes through it, how much money he owes the family in total. It's a lot for back then. And he says to him, you'll have to change your politics then to get a better job, to get a paying job, which is what he deserves, isn't it? But because he puts his politics above everything else, he can't get this job at this job interview. And this doctor who's getting paid handsomely says about Dr. Stoker, who runs this clinic, this free clinic, and he says, it's poverty-stricken there. So that's where Billy does end up going, as Jack Ford calls it, his socialist utopia. That's what he calls it. But later on, Billy does have the best of both worlds, really, because he gets a job at the Fitters Union being the doctor, and he also works at Dr. Stoker's, so he's able to pay the family back, and he can, stick up for his beliefs as well. So in the end, he does get the best of both worlds. But yeah, I mean, maybe he shouldn't have been so honest if he wanted that job, that paying job, but that's the way Billy was.
Stoker. Oh, forgive me. Dr. Stoker, he practices in Wellesley Street. And what he practices is poverty, although he took no vows. I admire you and I wish you well, but my comfort's important to me.
It's good of you to see me.
Not at all, not at all. I hope you enjoyed the plum cake.
Yes, thanks very much. Almost as good as me mother makes.
Right, I'll show you the way it's
And I love the ending of this one. This is probably one of my favourite endings. It's brilliant, isn't it? Because obviously Jokanovic goes to see Jack, and he wants the money from Jack, and he doesn't realise that it's this currency that's no longer in Russia. It's worthless, as Jack says. And yeah, it's very funny. And he thinks that Jack has double-crossed his father, and Jack says his father double-crossed him, and we don't completely find out, but at the end he has this pocket watch with the name of his father on it. So yeah, I think it's a very clever ending. Of course, this pocket watch comes up later in the series, doesn't it? I think Dolly says about Matt not liking that pocket watch. He hates it, but I think it's a nice watch. And as Jack says, I can't remember now, he says something about how, like it's so many carats or whatever. And yeah, but it's a very good ending, because also Tom and Matt go rushing off down to the beach, don't they, to help him. And Jack's like, here comes the cavalry, late as usual. Yeah, but he didn't need them in the end. And Jokanovic makes his way. Well, I don't know where he ended up in the end. He wanted to go to Palestine, wasn't it? Because he's a Jew, and he was hoping with this money he could get there. But obviously, as Jack says, you're not going to get far with that money. So yeah, I think it's a very good episode, and it's a different episode as well, I'd say, but a very enjoyable one.
Aren't you going to count it?
This is Kerensky money.
That's right. Like I said, I doubt if he'd get to Palestine on that. I doubt if he'd get to Gateshead.
Kerensky money?
Kerensky formed the government in 1917. They issued money for a while. It is worthless.
That's right. I was taken for a mug, Mr. Kaganovich.
Were you? Or are you taking me for one?
Oh no, it's your dad's money, all right. He signed it. He was real crafty. Look.
This money was stolen from me by Sergeant Ford, an Englishman, Vladimir Leon Kaganovich.
Took me in real proper, your dad did. You recognize the writing?
It is my father's. Once I would have killed you.
Let's go and have a drink. Just a quick one though, Tom, and you better get off home to your mum.
Think I need looking after, do you?
No, bonny lad. I think she does.
Dance to the daddy, sing to the mommy. Dance to the daddy, to the mommy sing. Thou shalt have the fishy on a little dishy. Thou shalt have the fishy when the boat comes in. Thou shalt have the fishy on a little dishy. Thou shalt have a haddock when the boat comes in. Thou shalt have the fishy on a little dishy. Thou shalt have the bloater when the boat comes in. Thou shalt have the fishy on a little dishy. Thou shalt have the mackerel when the boat comes in. Thou shalt have the fishy on a little dishy. Thou shalt have the salmon when the boat comes in.